M23, why do they exist? Why are they fighting? Why do they have arms?
Africans were quick to condemn the conflict in Palestine, Ukraine, and other parts of the world. We took to social media, we protested, and we demanded justice. But now, a devastating conflict is raging in our own backyard, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and there is a total silence. Why are we not speaking out? Why are we not demanding justice for our own brothers and sisters? The Congo crisis is real, and it's time we face it. Today, we are going to talk about the origin of this crisis, explore the reasons behind it, and examine the role of the M23 rebels. Who are they? What do they want? And how has the international community responded? Let's break the silence and shine a light on the truth. It is time for us to take responsibility and demand justice for the people of Congo. The Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, has a long and complex history, shaped by colonialism, wars, and geopolitical struggles that continue to influence its present-day conflicts. Understanding this history is crucial to comprehending the current turmoil in the region. The roots of the conflict trace back to the late 19th century when King Leopold II of Belgium established the Congo Free State as his personal colony. This brutal period saw millions of Congolese people subjected to forced labor and atrocities in pursuit of rubber and other resources. The Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885, where European powers carved up Africa without regard for ethnic or cultural boundaries, further laid the foundation for future conflicts. The artificial borders imposed by colonialists placed diverse ethnic groups within the same national boundaries, leading to tensions that persist today. The neighboring countries of Rwanda and Burundi, once under the German and later Belgian control, have also played a significant role in shaping the dynamics of conflict in the DRC. The genocide in Rwanda in 1994 and the resulting displacement of people into eastern Congo further exacerbated tensions. Many of those who fled Rwanda, including Hutu extremists, found refuge in Congo, leading to a series of wars that involved multiple African nations. The M23 rebellion, one of the most prominent armed groups in recent Congolese history, emerged due to these deep-rooted issues. The group consists primarily of Congolese Tutsis, who believe they have been marginalized by the Congolese government, while the Congolese administration sees them as rebels. They argue that they are simply fighting for their rights as Congolese citizens. The conflict has been further complicated by accusations that Rwanda supports M23, a claim that Rwanda denies, stating its involvement is defensive due to cross-border violence. Diplomatic relations between Rwanda and DRC have significantly deteriorated, with the Congolese government even severing diplomatic ties. The accusations and counter-accusations continue to fly between the two nations, with Congolese government insisting that Rwanda is backing M23 to exploit the mineral wealth of eastern Congo. Rwanda, on the other hand, argues that it is merely protecting its security interests. This diplomatic standoff has further strained regional stability, with neighboring countries and international actors attempting to mediate the crisis. The international community has played a role in attempting to mobilize the DRC, but with mixed results. The United Nations peacekeeping mission, MONUSCO, has been stationed in the country for decades but has largely failed to bring lasting peace. Critics argue that the mission is ineffective, as it mandates a limited peacekeeping rather than the actively engaging in combat to neutralize armed groups. Moreover, many Congolese citizens view MONUSCO as complicit in the ongoing violence, leading to widespread protests against its presence. Efforts to broker peace through diplomatic channels have also faced significant challenges. The East African Community, EAC, and the Southern African Development Community, SADC, have both attempted to mediate the crisis, but with limited success. Angola's president, João Lourenço, led a peace initiative that has largely failed, while the Nairobi peace process also hit roadblocks. The expulsion of the East African Peacekeeping Force in favor of SADC troops highlights the shifting alliances and the lack of consensus on how to resolve the conflict. One of the fundamental issues underlying the conflict is the competition over Congo's vast mineral resources. The eastern region of the country is home to some of the world's most valuable minerals, including cobalt, gold, and coltan, critical components in modern technology. This wealth has attracted not only armed groups, but also foreign powers and multinational corporations, all seeking to exploit these resources. The presence of over 100 armed groups, some allegedly supported by external actors, makes it nearly impossible to achieve peace without addressing the economic incentives fueling the conflict. To achieve a lasting peace, a comprehensive approach is necessary. First, all stakeholders, including the Congolese government, regional leaders, armed groups, and international actors, must come together for an inclusive dialogue. The refusal of the Congolese administration to negotiate with M23 is counterproductive, as they are a key player in the conflict. Past peace agreements, such as the Sun City Agreement that ended the Second Congo War, have shown the inclusive negotiation can work if all parties are involved. Furthermore, regional bodies such as the African Union must take a more active role in conflict resolution. The reliance on former colonial powers for mediation undermines Africa's ability to solve its own problems. Historically, European nations have had vested interest in Congo's resources, and their involvement often serves their own geopolitical agendas rather than fostering genuine peace. African nations must assert their own agency in resolving the crisis through institutions like the AU and regional coalitions. Another crucial step is addressing the humanitarian crisis. Millions of Congolese citizens have been displaced due to the ongoing violence, and urgent measures must be taken to provide aid and support. The international community should shift its focus from military interventions to sustainable development projects that can improve the livelihood of those affected by the conflict. Investing in infrastructure, education, and healthcare would go a long way in stabilizing the country. The role of the United Nations must also be redefined. If peacekeeping missions are to be effective, they need a stronger mandate that allows them to actively combat armed groups rather than merely observing the conflict. Additionally, efforts should be made to ensure that peacekeepers are held accountable for any misconduct, as past allegations of abuse by UN forces have further eroded public trust. Finally, the Congolese leadership must prioritize national unity over political maneuvering. Successive governments have often used ethnic division as a tool to maintain power, rather than working towards genuine reconciliation. Strengthening institutions, promoting inclusive governance, and ensuring that all ethnic groups have a voice in the political process are essential steps towards long-term stability. The crisis in the DRC is not just a Congolese problem. It is an African problem that requires an African solution. While international support is important, true peace can only be achieved if African leaders take ownership of the peace process. The conflict in Congo has persisted for far too long and without decisive action. History risks repeating itself. It is time for the region to break free from the cycles of violence and work towards a future where the DRC can fulfill its potential as one of Africa's most resource-rich and strategically important nations. The instability in the DRC is deeply rooted in historical injustice, colonial legacies, and regional power struggles. Addressing these issues requires a multifaceted approach that includes diplomatic engagement, economic reforms, and regional cooperation. The path to peace is not easy, but with genuine commitment from all stakeholders, a stable and prosperous Congo is possible.